What's up, guys? We are back with a full NBA slate here on Wednesday, December 4th. We're going to break down every game and look at bets on the side and over-under. And once injury news is confirmed, I'll be adding some player props into the pinned comment for several of these games, so don't forget to check back in the early afternoon. Tuesday night, we still have a lot of games going on right now, guys. We got off to a little bit of a rocky start. Orlando +5. Not a whole lot they could do against the Knicks in that one. It was the best game the Knicks have played in a bit and the worst game Orlando has played in a while. The Knicks shot the lights out, so that one was going to be a loss. Toronto played great against Indiana. We'll take the win on that one. Utah +14.5. I thought the backdoor cover was a possibility, but it came up a little bit short. Not too much of a comeback there, but we still have a ton more plays going on. We just need one more turnover from Westbrook, and that prop will cash, and we've got some good irons in the fire there. Memphis is playing really, really well in their game, so a lot of positive things going on right now. It's still a possibility that we have a nice winning night. If you want to win all of your bets today, hit that like button. It's good luck and shows support for the channel and all the hard work we're putting in every single day. Subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on our daily content. You can now also sign up for a channel membership by clicking the little join button right below the video. Members get exclusive early access to all NFL and college football videos and get their names up on screen just like right now. I really appreciate the support from all of you. Seeing that badge next to your comments makes me feel like this work is all worth it. Also, big shout out to Sayer Save Red for the $10 and $5 donations. Also, Andrew Choi 857 for the $5, and Troy Toms coming with the $2, and Chevy Farrow 9038 with the $2. All of your donations are greatly appreciated, guys. I really, that keeps the fire burning, keeps me fired up to continue making these videos. Comment below with any bets you're looking at today, and we will give you our best advice on all of them. We are committed to responding to every single comment every day, so let us know anything you want to say about my picks, these videos, or anything you see here. As always, our favorite picks will be in the pinned comment down below. Now let's get into our first game of the day. We've got the Detroit Pistons going on the road to take on the Boston Celtics. The Pistons come into this game fresh off of a tough loss last night. They did play in Detroit, so they're having to travel here going from Detroit to Boston. Not the craziest flight or anything like that, but still a travel spot for them, playing on back-to-back nights after getting just absolutely thrashed there by the Milwaukee Bucks. Giannis and company really laid the wood in that 128-107 win. The Bucks advance in the NBA Cup, so they've got to be pretty pumped about that. Pistons just really couldn't get it going despite the return of Cade. He didn't play amazing in this game. 23 points, so that looks nice. He shot the ball relatively well, but he was still a -20 out there, so that's not great. And he had 4 turnovers. Turnovers continue to be a problem for this Detroit Pistons team. They had 18 turnovers in the loss, so that's not ideal. They shot 33% from three-point range. That's not amazing, but you're going to have nights like that where you don't shoot the ball amazing, and you need to find ways to at least be competitive on those nights, but that did not happen. Despite them having a nice edge there on the boards, we saw 4 out of 5 starters score in double figures, but nobody scored in double figures coming off the bench. This is not an amazing bench unit, really, guys. I mean, there's some bright spots out there, I suppose, but it's been a little bit bleak. Malik Beasley had a pretty bad night, guys. 0-4 from 3 for him. Nobody shot the ball particularly well off the bench, and really only Cade shot the ball well from 3 in general in this game for the Pistons, so just not a good night for them. And now they've got a turnaround. They've got the quick turnaround going on the road to take on the Boston Celtics, so that probably doesn't feel amazing either. It's just been a little bit of a rough little stretch here for the Pistons. I mean, they've lost 3 out of their last 4, and now they're having to play on back-to-back nights against, arguably the best team in the NBA. In terms of their injury report, things are looking pretty clean here. We'll have to keep an eye on that. Obviously, more news could come out. They are playing on back-to-back nights, so there's always the possibility some guys will be sitting, but right now we pretty much expect them to have everybody you would want them to have ready to go for this game as they, make that short flight there to take on the Boston Celtics, who come into this one fresh off of a nice 108-89 win against the Miami Heat. We were actually on the Heat plus 10.5 in that game, but yeah, it was a weird game, guys. We saw a huge night there from Peyton Pritchard coming off the bench. He's played amazing this year, but it was just a night where really neither team played particularly well. The Heat just managed to play worse. We liked what we saw from the Celtics in some aspects. I mean, Jaylen Brown had a big game, 29 points for him, a plus 23 out there. Tatum, only 18 points, 3 of 12 from 3, 7 of 21 from the field. So not a banner day from him shooting the ball. He also had 6 turnovers in the win, but hey, a win is a win. They'll definitely take it. The bench didn't look great outside of Pritchard. Just not a lot of crazy scoring there going on from the bench. Porzingis did not play in this game. He's sitting out for rest, rehab, that, injury. So we'll see if he plays in this one. I would assume that he would. That would be the assumption here, and I think it's a pretty safe one. We'll dive into that injury report, though. Don't worry, guys. Derek White came back. He shot the ball great. 5 of 12 from three-point range, 7 of 14 from the field. He had 8 assists in the game, only 2 turnovers. That dude just somehow is still undervalued. An absolute monster out there. So love what we saw from Derek White in that game. In terms of the injury report here for Boston, we see Jrue Holiday and Jason Tatum both listed on there. In terms of how serious these are, I mean, Jrue Holiday seems to be legitimately questionable for this game, dealing with that knee issue. Tatum, on the other hand, I mean, he's also questionable with right patella tendinopathy. So we'll see if he ends up playing in this one or not. I would be a little bit surprised to see him miss this one. He's been a kind of an Iron Man so far this season. It would be the first game that he would have missed. So we'll see if that happens or not. Keep an eye on that injury report, but given where the spread is at right now, I think it's pretty likely we see at least Tatum playing this game, if not Tatum and Holiday being back. So looking at the numbers for this one, we see the Celtics are minus 14. We've got an over-under of 220.5. Detroit, they are 2-2-1 against the spread when playing on no rest this season. They're also 6-5-1 against the spread when playing on the road. Boston, they're 4-6 against the spread at home. Both teams showing trends towards the under. Boston's not really even big enough to care about, but Detroit is 13-8 to the under this season. 220.5. I'm not really going to be interested in betting an under on that number, in a game that the Boston Celtics are playing. So, probably staying away from the over-under, but I do think this is a spot we have to shade slightly towards the Pistons. I don't know how motivated Boston's going to be to earn like a blowout win and cover in this game, but generally speaking, probably not going to have a lot riding on this game. Boston's a tough team to bet against with, the constant possibility they just have one of those hot shooting nights from three. So we'll be keeping an eye on this game. If we get any weird injury news for the Celtics, then maybe we want to hop on the Pistons, or if we get any weird injury news for the Pistons, we might want to hop on the Celtics. So just stay tuned and check on that pinned comment. Next up, we're looking at the Indiana Pacers. They're going on the road to take on the Brooklyn Nets. The Pacers played last night in Toronto and took the 122-111 loss. That's their third straight L. Not having a great time there in Indiana this season. It's been pretty bleak stuff. We've had guys being ineffective, guys being hurt a little bit, but that hasn't been the biggest problem. It just has been a big step back here from Tyrese Halliburton that's really, really hurt this team. So we'll see if they can bounce back, but at 9-13 on the year, a lot of bounce backing to do. It is still early in the season, and Halliburton did play pretty well there, putting up, 36 points? 30 points. 30 points in 40 minutes. He was 10 of 16 from the field, 4 of 9 from 3. He had 6 assists, 3 turnovers. We didn't see anybody really help him out too much. Siakam had a down night for sure, only 4 of 13 from the field in his 36 minutes. He was a minus 22. We saw a minus 18 there from Nembhard coming back from injury. He played 19 minutes, did not look good. He obviously has to work his way back into shape a little bit. Mathurin played relatively well, but was 0 of 3 from deep. As a team, Indiana still shot 40% from long range and managed to lose this game by 11. That has to feel pretty concerning if you ask me. We saw Obi Toppin play really well off the bench. 15 points, a plus 17 for him. Great stuff in his 14 minutes. Maybe Obi Toppin needs to be getting some more minutes because that is a very solid performance. And we also saw TJ McConnell. He was killing out there, 14 points for him. So some positives there for the Pacers, but not positive to take a loss there against Toronto and then have to get on a plane and head to Brooklyn to face the Nets. None of that can feel great. Obviously, this isn't going to be the fully updated injury report. I wouldn't be shocked to see Nembhard sit this one out. Probably not going to want him playing on back-to-back nights coming off an injury. And Aaron Nesmith, guys, he's going to be out here for a while. So we'll see who's available for this game. Keep an eye on that pinned comment. These back-to-back, slates can be a little bit tough, but we'll see what the Pacers can do here going on the road to take on the Brooklyn Nets, who are 9-13 on the year. They've now lost 3 in a row. They just got blown out 128-102 at the Chicago Bulls. So that's a little bit rough. Not that Brooklyn was really a team that was designed to be competing in a major way this season, but I think they'd like to be doing a little bit better than they are. In that loss at Chicago, it was a bit bleak, losing by 26 to the Bulls. We didn't see anybody have a particularly good night. Schroeder was 0 of 6 from 3. Tyrese Martin did put up 15 points, but it was a minus 32. We saw a lot of guys playing some minutes that you don't normally want to see playing minutes. It was a very, very banged up Brooklyn Nets. Seems like the tanking situation might be kicking in a little bit here. We'll see if they're trading guys, see what their plan is right now. But we'll see. I'm a little bit, if I was a contender, there's some pieces on this squad that I would be interested in picking up. And I know the Brooklyn Nets are more than willing to take those calls. So we'll see what happens down the stretch there. Just not a lot of positives for Brooklyn in this game. They did shoot 33% from 3, which isn't, I guess, horrible, but they got crushed on the boards there, and they had no answers for the Bulls offense, guys. We saw huge positive numbers there for most of the Bulls starters. Vujicic had a big day. Zach LaVine posted a plus 25. The Nets were not playing any defense in that one, and they just haven't been at full strength here for a while. So we'll see if they're getting closer to full strength for this game. It looks like that's not going to be the case, though. Cam Thomas still looking like he's going to be out here. He's going to miss some time. I mean, a hamstring strain when you're a guy that plays like him is going to be a long, recovery process. Dorian Finney-Smith looks like he's still going to continue to be out. He's technically questionable for this game with that ankle issue, but they're not in a position to be hustling guys back from injuries. And Cameron Johnson, guys, he is day to day questionable technically with his ankle issue. And yeah, Ben Simmons, he's still on the injury report. Don't really care if he plays, but Zaire Williams and Noah Clowney both listed as out. So this is going to be the skeleton crew here, it's looking like, for the Nets. I don't know if I 100% believe that, though, based on where the line is, but yeah, we'll see. It seems like Nesmith and Clowney, they're both very likely to be, they're going to be out for this game. So should be a skeleton crew there for the Brooklyn Nets, who are still getting 1.5 points. We got an over-under of 227. Indiana, they're 1-2 against the spread on no rest. They are 3-8 against the spread on the road, so pretty weak numbers there. They are 15-6 to the over this season, so that's a big number there. They're the NBA best team to the over. Brooklyn 4-5 against the spread at home. They're 11-11 to the over/under this season. Guys, I think this is an excellent spot to take the Indiana Pacers in a bounce back here at minus only 1.5, like borderline a pick'em game. I think Indiana is a better team than what they've shown. I know they've struggled, but I think Siakam's going to bounce back. If Halliburton continues to play well, all of a sudden, like, this team is going to reel off some wins. And taking down a decimated Brooklyn Nets team seems like a great spot to me. For sure, give me the Pacers here at minus 1.5. You could also talk me into over 227. I don't think that's super unreasonable here, but my real strong lean in this game is definitely going to be the Pacers. Next up, guys, we're looking at the Los Angeles Lakers. They're going on the road to take on the Miami Heat. The Lakers come to this game fresh off a blowout loss there at the hands of the Timberwolves. They lost that game 109-80. Things are getting real weird, real sketchy there for LeBron James and company. We saw LeBron continue this insanely cold, three-point shooting streak. He had 10 points, so barely kept that double-digit scoring streak alive. He was a minus 28 in the plus-minus in his 31 minutes. That was tough to watch, guys. D'Angelo Russell actually had a nice night, putting up 20 points. Anthony Davis only 4 of 14. I don't know what his deal is. Not getting a lot of shots, not getting the amount of touches that he certainly should be getting. So maybe things will change around there a little bit, but looking real bleak there for Anthony Davis in that loss. Maybe this is a bounce back spot for him. We'll have to wait and see. Dalton Connect 0 of 5 from 3. A very cold shooting streak for the Lakers in general. They were 6 of 31 for a nearly 20% shooting night from long range. They didn't look good on the boards, either getting out rebounded. The bench looked pretty bad. Like, there was just no positives really across the board here for the Lakers. Just a really bad game. They're going to want to wash that out of the system, but it's beginning to be very obvious. This Lakers team, no depth. They just have LeBron and AD. Those are the guys you can kind of depend on. Obviously, they've had some guys out with injury, but things are not going to suddenly turn around when guys like Austin Reeves are back in the lineup. That's not going to change the fate of this team. Moves need to be made if they're trying to be competitive this year. That's what JJ Redick's basically just going to come out and say that. He's not a guy that's going to mince words. So we'll see how this goes down the stretch. I could see all kinds of wild possibilities here for the Lakers. We do see Reeves and Anthony Davis both on the injury report here. Reeves obviously didn't play in the last game. He's dealing with that pelvis issue. He's questionable for this one, so hopefully we'll get a little bit of clarity. Obviously, we'd love to see him in the lineup more than we'd love to see D'Angelo Russell, but we'll see how that goes. Anthony Davis, he's probable for this one with his left foot plantar fasciitis, so we'll see if he's back for this game. We'll see if he's out there for this game. I expect him to be the vast majority of the time. He's going to be out there, and he's in a big bounce back situation. He should be playing much better than he did in his last game. So we'll see what the Lakers can do here going on the road to take on the Miami Heat, who are 9-10 on the season, fresh off a very weak showing, that 108-89 loss against the Celtics. Not what we were expecting from the Heat in that game. Thought they would find a way to keep it competitive, but without Jimmy Butler, things got a little bit off the rails. We saw decent but not great stuff from Bam. He was 6 of 18. Got to work on that shooting percentage. If I had to watch many more Bam elbow jumpers, I might go insane. Duncan Robinson, 0 of 6 from 3. He had a horrible day out there. His fall off has been really sad to watch. I hope the dude can bounce back at some point. I miss his podcast, to be honest, too. So we'll see how things go for him. Hayward Highsmith, 10 points, but yeah, just nothing coming from the bench there. Terry Rozier is being floated in trade talks now. He had 4 points in 22 minutes. I don't know if that's going to be somebody you're going to get an awful lot for in a trade. So we'll see what happens. Tyler Hero trying to drag this team along. 19 points for him. 2 of 10 from 3, so an off shooting night. He's done some great things this season. His numbers over the course of the season have been very good. But yeah, a cold shooting one there against the Celtics. We also saw the Heat struggle on the boards against Boston. So a lot of problems there for Miami. They're going to be hoping to bounce back here. In terms of health, we see Jimmy Butler obviously still on the injury report. Nikola Jovic is going to be out. Kevin Love's on the injury report. I don't know how big of a deal that really is. Jimmy, though, guys, he is questionable with that knee issue that's been an ongoing management thing for him. we'll see. He sat out the second half of the back-to-back. I do think there's a good chance that we'll see him out there for this game. So that would be a big deal. We're also hearing Jimmy Butler floated in trade rumors too, but it's been a crazy year for trade rumors, so I'm not going to overreact to that too much, but it's definitely something to keep on the old radar. Kevin Love, his presence or absence isn't the biggest deal. He's questionable for this one with that ongoing back issue, so we'll see what happens. Looking at the numbers for this game, the Heat are -1. We've got an over-under of 219.5. The Lakers are only 3-8 against the spread on the road. They are 12-9 to the under this season. Miami, they are 3-5 against the spread at home. They are 10-9 to the over. This is a bit of a tough spot, guys. I do think I like the Lakers here to bounce back a little bit, assuming that we have both Anthony Davis and Austin Reeves back for this game. So definitely give me the Lakers here to bounce back. And if the Heat don't have Jimmy Butler, that makes a big difference. So we'll see what happens in this one. Once again, keep an eye on that pinned comment. And with that over-under of 219.5, I'm probably leaning a bit towards the under. I don't think we'll see a crazy amount of offense in this game, but not an over-under spot that's going in the pinned comment. Rolling right along through these games, we are looking at the Orlando Magic. They're going on the road in this one to take on the Philadelphia 76ers. The Magic played last night. They were a big letdown for us, guys. I really thought the Orlando Magic and the points were a great spot. They're playing at Madison Square Garden, but that did not work out. We saw Franz Wagner have a big night, putting up 30 points. But his teammates completely let him down. They were nowhere to be found except for his brother. Mo Wagner put up 20 points coming off the pine. But as a team, Orlando shot only 23.1% from three-point range. That's not going to work. They kept things even on the boards, but they just couldn't keep up with the Knicks. The defense wasn't there to completely slow down New York. We saw the Knicks get off to a crazy hot shooting streak in the beginning of the game. The Knicks made 15 of 35 threes for a 43% three-point shooting percentage. Just not what we saw this game being. The Magic just couldn't keep up. They couldn't shoot the ball well. Jalen Suggs had one of those games, guys. He was 0 of 8 from three-point range, and just not a lot of positive things going on for the Magic in this one. So they weren't able to keep it close. That was a disappointing loss, but this is a very good team, and Franz Wagner and Mo Wagner both played good in this game. I think this squad is headed to the stratosphere once we see Paolo Banchero back from his oblique injury. So good things probably on the horizon here for the Magic. They're in a bounce back spot here in terms of their injury report. We don't see anybody huge probably going to be out for this game, obviously except for Paolo still being out, but they should be in a decent bounce back spot. This is a young team, so I don't expect them to necessarily struggle here to play on back-to-back nights as they go on the road to take on the Philadelphia 76ers, who have now won 2 in a row when your wins are against the Hornets and the Pistons. Not time to throw you a parade yet, but we'll see. Any positive signs of life there from Philly. It has to be very, very welcome for that franchise and their fans, because it has looked crazy. They've probably had the worst beginning of the season of anybody in the NBA. I don't think nobody worse really comes to mind. We saw Paul George have his probably best game as a 76er, guys. He put up 29 points. He shot 10 of 16 from the field, 6 of 9 there from 3, 8 assists in the game. Yabusele had a nice day, 12 rebounds. That's a big deal for this team as they, clearly miss Embiid. Maxey played well, 21 points for him. We saw Jared McCain had another big game. He's coming off the bench now. That's probably where this rookie should be for this team in the long run. I mean, not in the long run necessarily, but for right now, and until Embiid coming back, obviously we'll move more guys to the bench, and suddenly this could be a decent bench unit. But all that being said, they played a really good game. They shot 40% from three-point range, and they managed to beat the Charlotte Hornets by 6. So not time to freak out about the 76ers, guys. We'll see if they can do some more positive things. They got crushed on the boards in this game too, so definitely plenty of reasons still to worry if you're a 76ers fan. Obviously, we see Embiid not going to be back from this game. Andre Drummond also injured. So, yeah, Embiid doesn't expect him to play in this game, or Nick Nurse at least doesn't. So, not going to be seeing Embiid. I don't know when we'll see Embiid. That's, very up in the air. We don't know when we're going to see Andre Drummond back, but it does not appear that it's going to be for this game. So, it won't be the full strength 76ers. They're getting 2.5 points here playing at home. We've got an over-under of 204.5, so a very low total. Philadelphia played that game last night in Charlotte, so they're having to travel from Charlotte to Philadelphia. They're playing on back-to-back nights. Orlando 2-2 against the spread on no rest. Philadelphia 1-0 against the spread on no rest this season. The Magic 6-7 against the spread on the road this year. Philadelphia 2-7 against the spread at home. No major trends towards the over-under here with a total of only 204.5. I definitely think you have to take the over, but that's not an over-under spot that I'm going to get mixed up in. I definitely think this is a great bounce-back situation for the Orlando Magic. All those bench players, all those side pieces that played so poorly last night, they're going to bounce back. They're going to play better in this one. I don't like the Philadelphia 76ers' chances in this game. I think we'll see Paul George struggle a little bit in this one compared to what he did last night. So give me the Orlando Magic -2.5. I think this is some fantastic value. I probably like the Magic minus anything, 5 or less in this spot, if I'm honest with you. Next up, guys, we've got the Atlanta Hawks. They're going on the road to take on the Milwaukee Bucks. The Hawks come into this game now 500 on the season. They're 11-11 overall, fresh off a 124-112 win against the hapless New Orleans Pelicans. The Hawks, winners of 4 straight. They'll definitely take it, guys. They're putting together some positive things here. After their season got off to a pretty bleak start, we saw great stuff kind of across the board. This has been a team uptick. Like the whole team playing much, much better here for Atlanta. DeAndre Hunter playing great off the bench. 22 points from him, 4 of 7 from long range. Just a great, great shooting night. They dominated on the boards in this game, so that's got to feel pretty good. And yeah, just another nice night. I mean, Trae Young, 15 assists. He was a plus 20 out there despite scoring only 12 points. Trae Young really leading into that playmaker role. Dyson Daniels continues to be an absolute menace out there. He was a plus 18 in his minutes. He had 4 steals in the game. Just crazy, crazy stuff. And a block. He did have 2 turnovers, but a plus 18 and 19 points for this guy. Absolutely crazy. The bench was great. Bogdanovic had a terrible shooting night. It did not matter. This Hawks team is playing amazing. They win this game by 12 points despite shooting only 10 of 38 from long range. They shot over 50% from the field. Very nice stuff there from Atlanta. Very impressed with what I'm seeing from them. It's been pretty nuts down the stretch. I'm not going to lie, guys. The Atlanta Hawks doing some crazy, crazy positive things. It's been nuts to see the turnaround that they've had. They come into this game relatively healthy. Trae Young is on the injury report, but he's the only notable guy. He's probable for this game due to right Achilles tendonitis. That's something you're going to have for the rest of your life, young man. So, yeah, he'll be all right. He's going to be out there for this one very, very likely. So we'll see what the Hawks can do going on the road to take on the Milwaukee Bucks. Could be a tough matchup. The Bucks are another team that's really turned things around. They are on a 7-game winning streak. They're 11-9 on the year. They're coming off of a 128-107 win last night, guys, in Detroit against the Pistons. Yeah, the Bucks got a convincing win in that one. Saw big stuff from Giannis and Dame. They turned things around there. It was looking crazy. All kinds of weird rumors swirling about maybe they should blow this thing up, trade Dame, trade Giannis, yada yada. But apparently that's not going to be happening, guys, because all of a sudden this team is right back on track. I mean, Giannis had 28 points, was a plus 18 in the win. Dame shot 5 of 11 from 3. He was a plus 7. He scored 27 points and had 5 assists. 8 assists there from Giannis. Just across the board, very good stuff. We saw 3 starters score in double figures coming on, or 3 bench players score in double figures there for the Bucks. That's got to feel really, really good. Bobby Portis played well. Gary Trent Jr., an appearance from him. AJ Green playing well, also in his limited minutes. So good stuff there across the board for the Milwaukee Bucks to get that comfortable win. So they've got to feel great with the direction things are headed. They also have to feel great about shooting 56.1% in that win. Are they going to be able to have this similar kind of success in this matchup? Seems like a bit of a big ask, guys. In terms of their injury report, we do see Chris Middleton still listed as out. It doesn't appear that he's going to be back for this game. He didn't play in that game against the Pistons. They're being very, very cagey with his, whole situation. I don't think it's very likely that he comes back, to be honest, but we'll see what happens. I don't know when we'll have him back. It's not going to be for this game. We don't know when it's going to be, though. So overall, the healthy Milwaukee Bucks in this game. It is a back-to-back, so keep an eye on Giannis's status for this game. It could be very up in the air, but in terms of the numbers, the Bucks are getting minus 4 points for this one. We've got a total of 236.5. Atlanta, they are 5-6 against the spread on the road. They are 15-7 to the over. Milwaukee, they are 0-3-1 against the spread on no rest this season. They are 4-6-1 against the spread at home, and they are 11-8 to the under. I'm not too interested in that over-under of 236.5, guys, but I'm very interested in the Atlanta Hawks +4. I think this is a great spot for them. I think they match up pretty well here with Milwaukee, and I think we could see the Hawks possibly win this game straight up, especially if Giannis, isn't playing a ton of minutes in this spot and stuff like that. So definitely give me the Atlanta Hawks and the points. They're a red-hot team. They've got a red-hot defender, and they are playing good team basketball. I think they could be trouble there for Milwaukee. Last but not least, we're looking at the Minnesota Timberwolves. They're going on the road to take on the LA Clippers. The Timberwolves come into this game fresh off of that 109-80 blowout win there over the Lakers. Very, very good stuff from Minnesota. They're a very hot and cold team. They either play really well or really bad, it feels like right now. They're still feeling things out. They're 10-10 on the season. Like Julius Randle led the team with 18 points in that win. Rudy Gobert had 17. Ant-Man only played 27 minutes, only had 8 points in the win. I don't know. It feels weird. Like, this was a much better team last season. I think that trade for Julius Randle and Dante DiVincenzo and shipping Cat out of town made them worse, but we'll see. The bench looked great. DiVincenzo played really well. 11 points, a plus 21 from him, plus 22 from Naz Reid, 15 points from Nickeil Alexander-Walker. The depth for this team does look good. They shot as a squad over 50% from the field, over 42% there from long range. So a lot of positives, but Ant-Man taking a backseat just does not sit right with me. We'll see what goes on here down the stretch. Big positive numbers there for Mike Conley. Him being back is a big deal. He was a plus 21 out there. So, good things for the Timberwolves. They're pointed in the right direction, maybe, but I need to see a much larger sample size of things going well, and I'm going to need to see Ant-Man be happy to take a backseat to Julius Randle. Like, that feels absolutely effed to me. Like, I just don't like it. I don't think it's a good idea. I don't love the Julius Randle, Rudy Gobert situation. They both played well their last time out. Cool. Let's see if they can do it again here. I mean, in terms of the injury report, it's looking very, very clean. Everybody important should be ready to go here for the Timberwolves. So I think we'll see good stuff there. But I'm nervous about this combo here, guys. I don't know how Anthony Edwards is going to feel about having single-digit scoring nights. It just feels wrong. He's the best player on this team. What is going on right now? So we'll see what they can do as they go on the road to take on the LA Clippers, who come into this game. They're going to be playing on back-to-back nights. They're currently tied in the second quarter there with the Portland Trail Blazers. So we'll see if they're able to finish that game out well, and what their injury report and stuff looks like there. But obviously we don't have full information about the Clippers. I would expect them to pull away and win this game. Obviously, I mean, it's against the Portland Trail Blazers, but yeah, now they're down 2 in the second quarter. So we'll see what happens with them. In terms of their season, they've been very, very good. I mean, 13-9 overall. They've had some nice wins against some good teams. They did lose that one against the Timberwolves. That was kind of a heartbreaker, but overall, we've loved what we've seen from the Clippers this season. They've been much better than expected. They've done a good job of staying healthy. They did a great job during that, that time we saw Norman Powell out. Missing Kevin Porter Jr. could be a bit of a bump in the road. Obviously, we don't know if they'll even have Kawhi Leonard at any point this season or if he'll ever play basketball again. That could be maybe the most up in the air thing in the NBA this year, but we'll see what we get from the Clippers in this one. They're getting 3.5 points playing at home, so that's pretty interesting. We got an over/under of 210.5. Minnesota, they're 4-5 against the spread on the road. They're 10-10 to the over/under. The Clippers are 2-3 against the spread on no rest. They're 8-4 against the spread at home. They're also 13-8-1 to the under. With a total there of only 210.5, I would lean a bit towards the over under normal circumstances, but with these two teams, maybe this could be construed into an under spot. In terms of the side, the Clippers at plus 3.5 would seem like it would be the side if they weren't playing on back-to-back nights. We just don't have enough information here. We don't know who's going to be available for the Clippers, so keep an eye on the pinned comment. I would say I'm probably leaning a little bit towards the Timberwolves here, but things have been such a mess for Minnesota, I don't really know. So just keep an eye on that pinned comment. Make sure you check back, and we will have some clarity for you on this game if it's one we end up having enough confidence in to put in the pinned comment in general. That's all the games we have for today. Hit that like button for good luck on all of your bets, and subscribe to the channel if you're new. Let me know in the comments any questions you have on today's slate. Thanks for watching. We'll see you guys tomorrow night for a Thursday night football video. We'll have some NBA and or NCAA basketball mixed in there, so have a good one, and we'll see you guys tomorrow.